Welcome everybody to the Jason Edwards Show. This is the episode for Monday, and I'm going to talk a little bit about, are you doing the work that you love? And if you're not, then how can you get to a place where you can start doing that? And I'm going to frame it in a way that I'm telling you my story of how I've gotten to where I am today. And obviously I have a long way to go, but I am doing work that I love right now. And I want to kind of talk to you about my journey and also see if maybe I can inspire a couple of you to do the same in your own, whatever your own passion is and the things that you want to do. So I'm going to go on to Facebook really quick and share the stream around. And if you don't mind, do the same as well. I'm also streaming on Instagram Live, so you can check it out here. Sometimes I'll be looking down towards my phone so that I can talk to those people too. All right, let's get to the stream here. Make sure we're streaming. Cool. So I'm going to try to get back and forth to questions, but I do want to just give a little bit of framework first. So let me make sure I'm muted here. And thanks, Jeremy. Hey, Andrew. Cool. So with that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story, how I grew up, where I moved to, kind of my journey to get to where I am right now. And again, like I said, I have a long way to go. So I'm nobody important yet, but I'm climbing. I'm doing the things that I like to do, and hopefully that will inspire some of you to do the same. So all through elementary school, growing up, I always liked performing. I liked being in plays and things like that. Never really sure that was a career for me or something that I saw myself doing long term, but that was always what I gravitated towards. I just loved it. And then going through high school, I got into the speech and debate team my senior year, I believe. I don't know why it took me so long to get there, but my senior year, we would tour around to different high schools. I don't know how it is in the area that you live, but in high school in Louisiana, they have teams that would go around to different schools and compete. You do either two-person scenes or monologue scenes, or they would have people that do debate. It was kind of the whole team would go. And we would just always do really well. I had a really good friend that we were on the same team together as a kind of a duet or a duo. I can't remember what they called it, but we would win all the time. And that really gave me a passion. And I said my senior year, this is what I want to do. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that turns into a career, but that's what I want to do. And so immediately my senior year, I was blessed enough that my parents supported that. I was in a lot of school plays and things like that. And they allowed me to fly up to, I believe it was St. Louis at the time, to audition for an acting school that was in Los Angeles. My parents bought the ticket for me, thank God. I flew up there, I auditioned, turned around, because I wasn't going to stay. I think I was 17, so I wasn't going to stay in St. Louis by myself. Turned around, flew back that very same day, and shortly thereafter, I found out that I got into that acting school called the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Los Angeles. And so that was the plan. I mean, I had a scholarship at LSU, or I guess any Louisiana school, as many students do. I don't know if the program is still around, but at the time it was called the TOPS program. And it gave you 4 years paid tuition as long as you kept your grades up and met certain requirements, ACT-wise. You could go to a school in Louisiana and they would pay for the tuition. So I had that in the back pocket, but I also really had this passion. I just wanted to get out and start my life as an actor, is what I thought. So a few great friends jumped in the vehicle with me. We loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly Hills, as they say, and moved out to Los Angeles, 17 years old. My friends were just coming along for the ride. Some of them really didn't know what they wanted to do. Some of them just wanted to see the sights. So we didn't really know what the plan was, how long we were going to stay and all that. But ended up getting to Los Angeles and finding out very quickly how expensive it truly is. I don't remember how much I had saved, but it wasn't enough, and ran out of money pretty quickly, staying in hotels, trying to find a place. Really had no plan. That was before the internet was really a thing, that you could, Craigslist and things like that. That was a little harder. I remember going to the public library and reading newspapers to try to find places, and then calling them. And I believe we were still using payphones at the time pretty frequently. I'm not that old, but it wasn't too long ago that happened. So really it came down to a point where all my friends were literally packing up the car, ready to go home, and I was going to stay and just kind of figure out what was going to happen. There was somebody that was kind of in partnership with the school, and they would rent out certain rooms in their homes to students of the school, but they didn't have anything available at the time. So it was literally like a scene in a movie. All my friends are driving off, and I just had this sinking feeling that I needed to go with them. So I literally jumped back in the car, packed what little stuff I had brought with me, and went back home with them and started going to college. I really was kind of lost. I was like, well, I don't know what my plan is at this point. So went to college for, initially it was going to be a theater degree, but then I started realizing that I wanted to learn some business skills as well. So went to LSU, got a business degree, and towards the tail end of that, I just got that feeling again that I had to move back out to Los Angeles. So I don't know how long it was, but it surely wasn't that long after graduating. Moved right back out to Los Angeles with a couple of friends. Same friend that I was partnered with in those acting classes and competitions in high school. And moved out, and I thought, okay, this is what we're going to be doing. I'm gonna be an actor, and got a job at a restaurant as a million others do in Los Angeles, and started doing that for probably, I don't know, 6 months. And again, although I had more money saved this time because I thought I learned my lesson, money goes even quicker because things were even more expensive at the time after 4 years of college, or 4.5 years, however long it took me. So now I'm in a position where I'm out of college. I don't have another plan. I don't have another route that I can go. I've made this jump. I literally packed up way more stuff than I did the first time to move out, and I was with other people. And so I jumped on a few different sites, Craigslist and other sites, just trying to find a way to make some money quickly that I could parlay into allowing me to pursue what I really wanted to do, which was to be an actor. And found a job in real estate. Initially, it was in selling mortgages, but transitioned into selling real estate. And I did that for much longer than I thought. My initial plan was I'm going to do this for 3 to 6 months, make whatever the claim was on the ad. I believe it was, they said people were making $10,000, $15,000 a month. So I said, well, heck, I don't have to do that very long, and I can have enough money to live in a really cheap apartment and pursue acting full time. So I've always been kind of like, how can I position myself and work at a job that can free me up to be able to do the things that I want to do? And so what unfortunately happened was, although I learned a lot in real estate, I woke up 7-8 years later finding myself miserable doing a job that I didn't really like, because I was doing so well in real estate financially, kept selling really bigger and bigger houses and worked with some amazing people, but I eventually abandoned the dreams of the things that I wanted to do because I was in this cycle of making money and I didn't know how to get out of it. In real estate, if any of you sell real estate or are in some kind of sales type thing where you're not getting recurring income, you're just getting income based on what you sell, you're always getting new clients, hopefully, and you're always chasing that next thing. Like there's never an end time. So I woke up 7-8 years later just miserable. I remember sitting in my car sometimes just not wanting to go in my office for an hour or more. So I wasn't sure what to do. And around that time, I don't know if it was God or something else that came into my life, but I was playing in a rec softball game for real estate agents and slid into third base and heard a loud snap, and it was my leg. And I had to have major surgery on my leg to repair that. It was plates and screws and all kinds of stuff. And at that time, I just was like, what am I doing? This is not the life that I wanted. So around the time that I healed, which took longer than expected, partly because I maybe was in some sort of depression or what, just couldn't get things going, I just decided I need to regroup. I need to move back home and figure out what the heck I'm doing. So I moved back to Louisiana, moved in with my parents at, I believe it was 30 years of age, just like, what the heck am I doing? And started selling real estate again. Who knew? Because my confidence was really, really low. I didn't know what I could do anymore. After so many years of not doing the things that you enjoy, you start to lose the confidence of the things that you used to be really excited about doing, or at least I don't want to speak for you guys, but that's how I felt. So moved, started doing real estate, but then that was in Lake Charles, Louisiana, but started drifting over to New Orleans more frequently to do like background work and work on crews and things like that, just to be in the movie atmosphere, the creation of TV and film and things like that. And at the same time, auditioned for a play, and ended up just reigniting my passion for acting, working with some great people in local community theater that I had worked with back when I was in high school, and just decided one day that enough was enough. I don't care if I'm broke eating ramen noodles, which I've done many, many times. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to pursue this full time. And I literally didn't renew my real estate license. So legally, there was no way I could sell real estate unless I went through what I had to again to take the test and be able to do it again. Because as long as I had that, it was always a backup plan. It was always a way that I could step out and do these things again. So I cut off all capabilities of being able to sell real estate. And all the while, I've always been good at different aspects of making money, hustling, whether it was building websites for people, whether it was selling online products, courses, training. I've had physical products that I've sold, supplements, any kind of way to kind of hack together an income. So I didn't necessarily have to have a full-time job. And that leads me to today. From the time that I cut off all aspects of being able to do other things other than what I wanted to do, I started saying to the world when they'd ask me what I did for a living, I said I was an actor or a producer or in the film industry. Ever since then, things have started to really pick up. Now, obviously, I'm nowhere near where I want to be and where I'm climbing to be, but I am, in the past year, have booked 2 major network television shows, several commercials, and things like that. And I just keep working and working. But in the time that I did that, I didn't just wait for it to happen too. I didn't just say, okay, I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to sit around and wait for that to happen. I actively pursued it. I actively pursued taking several classes a week. And if I couldn't afford classes, I would get on movie sets and I would work as a PA for free. I would do just every day trying to find a way to be in the industry that I love being in. Working for free, sometimes eventually leading to paid gigs, and then sometimes really well-paying gigs. And that has led me to now where I'm doing the show and now developing bigger projects, doing things with a lot of really close friends that I've developed over the years of doing all those past classes and working on film sets. So that all leads me to say, and I've skipped a few things just because I wanted to kind of speak genuinely versus just reading off of a script or a bullet point thing. But the main thing is, I know that a lot of you out there are probably saying that you want to do things differently. You want to be doing some kind of profession or living some kind of lifestyle that necessarily you aren't living right now. But I totally understand that I'm in a unique spot than many of you because I don't have a wife. I don't have any kids. I have, niece and nephew that I love very much and family that I try to help and do as much as I can. But really, I don't have people that I have to make sure that they can eat, So I understand that that's the case for a lot of people, and I don't take that lightly. So hopefully over the course of the next few months, I'll be able to deliver a lot of ideas and brainstorms and things for you to be able to kind of bridge the gap between what you're doing now and what you want to be doing, or maybe you love what you're doing, but there's also a missing component in your life of things that you've always wanted to do that you just have lost your confidence in or things like that. So again, I'm no expert. I'm going on this journey myself too, but hopefully it will inspire some of you to do the same. So if you're getting any value out of this, please share. I'm going to go to some questions here and see. Bear with me 1 second here. Eventually, I'll figure out how to do comments at the same time as doing the show. Ideally, I'll have a producer in here that can kind of feed me some really good, juicy ones. But let's see here. Shauna says, excellent sound and resolution. Thanks, Shauna. Daniel says, sup, Daniel. Andrew says, right there with you. Cool, man. Greg Dorman says, do what you love, let what you do. Great advice there. Yeah. So, awesome. So, really, that's the thrust of the show. I'm going to do this on a daily basis. I'm recording it at Second Line Stages in New Orleans. So any of you that are local that would like to be on the show, you have a good story to tell, something that would benefit others, then please reach out to me. And you can follow me on social media. I think the links are there at Jason Edwards TV for Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those different places. I'm on live on Instagram Live here, so you can watch the show there. Unfortunately, it can't be recorded at the moment, so that's why I'm doing it on Facebook, and it will also be on YouTube. But yeah, so that's the idea of the show, is just to talk to inspiring people that are local, people that are in the entertainment industry. Sometimes I'll interview entrepreneurs and people that are doing really exciting things in their businesses. Sometimes I will interview people in health and fitness, or just everyday people, or local heroes, community people, police officers, people in the military. Just really want to make this kind of an inspirational show. Also, outside of what I'm doing here, I'm going to continue to pursue acting gigs that I auditioned for, as well as film crew work and things like that, as well as develop a lot of my own stuff, because I really believe that the way that technology is moving and the way that we can literally, this isn't really, really cheap, but you can do this very cheaply with this live stream type stuff. So I'm going to talk a lot about that too, because no matter what business you're in, you can benefit from being able to literally press a couple buttons and connect to an audience that may end up working with you in some capacity. So I think it's really valuable that you guys learn how to do this too and get comfortable with being on camera. Or if you're not the one that's going to be on camera, then somebody in your office or somebody in your family or somebody in the business may be more comfortable with doing that. And really what I like about the interview style show is that all the pressure isn't on you to maintain something that's entertaining for 15 to 30 minutes or an hour. You can ask questions and get audience questions back for that person as well. So I believe anybody can do this kind of format. But again, if you're interested in being on the show, or you have a story to tell, you don't have to necessarily be on location, although it's cool to have you in the office. It can also be done over Skype or some other format where we kind of do a split screen. So I'm still learning this technology. There's some cool new settings that I did today. So hopefully the audio is better, the video is clearer, and we'll figure all that out soon. But if you got value out of this, it's kind of a shorter one. I just wanted to kind of do an intro about myself. Please share it. Let everybody else know. Like the page so that you get notifications when I go live again. Or we'll also have this in audio format and possibly video on iTunes and other places like that for a podcast format. So with that, I'm going to sign off because I just wanted to jump on really quickly. I'll respond to your comments. So even if you're watching this when it's not live, I'll still be interacting with you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for just wanting to hear the show. Hopefully it doesn't get annoying, but I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to keep doing it regardless. You can unfollow me if you don't like it. And other than that, I'll talk to you again.